Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Homestuck Epilogues streams. Welcome, Sneak Cat. Welcome, anyone viewing anonymously. It is the next day. It has been a day indeed. Not too much else to add. I'll try and hop into the story, immediately, because I know we spent a very long time just chit-chatting yesterday. Hoping to get through at least 2 chapters, hopefully 3. Yeah, I know, right? Game Bro came on. I was like, God fucking damn it. Yeah, yesterday when I put on pre-stream music, I was like, I don't fucking know where we were. But I actually looked through my notepad and I found the place where I wrote down where we were, and it turns out that we were on track 3 of volume 6. And that is where pre-stream music left off, before I went to camp. So, now we're gonna, almost fully back in routine. The first bonus stream back has yet to happen. That will happen on Tuesday, August 13th. And that will be, of course, 11 p.m. EST. And that will be returning to Dream Daddy, which I am going to do some more research on before we keep going. Just so I know the direction that I'll be taking it, and how I'll be navigating the game. Because I would like to show you as much content as I possibly can in a single playthrough. So I'll have to see how the dating thing works, how it will change the game if I, for example, do all 3 dates with every single guy before, I don't know, picking one or something? I don't know. I don't know exactly how the mechanics work, and I need to look it up so I know what I'm doing. But yeah, Stream Daddy will resume on August 13th at 11 p.m. EST. Shove your fingernail into your arm while trying to pick up your cat. Ouch. Yeah, I'll get an F in chat for that. If it bruises you, will not be surprised. Oh dear. Yeah. That's not fun. I got a lot of mosquito bites still from camp that are slowly healing. A lot of scabs because I don't know how to stop itching them. But, yeah. Rip. I'm sorry about your arm. I hope it was worth it to pick up your cat. Yes. Streamy thing. Stream news. Yeah, so I did the whole, all of the links in the community news yesterday, but there is one new piece of news today, which is that Rev Scarecrow, who is one of my all-time favorite streamers, who I appreciate very much. God fucking damn it, Aleph, you always make an entrance. Welcome. Rev Scarecrow has officially started streaming Homestuck. Rev Scarecrow streamed Hiveswap Act 1 and streamed the Friend Sims as they came out. However, said for the longest time that he would not stream Homestuck because of his dyslexia. He's like, I'm dyslexic. That looks like a fucking nightmare. It's really long. There's a lot of reading. No thanks. But whatever, something's changed, I guess. Something changed his mind. And now he's doing it. So I'm excited. So keep an eye on his channel for that if you're interested in early Homestuck with your Homestuck Epilogue streams. Because he got... I wasn't able to watch his full stream today. I only watched the first, half hour, and he was just at the, early parts of Act 2. Maybe you'll bop in. Yes, I would recommend it, because, I'm very biased. I really enjoy Rev's streams, as well as YouTube videos. If you're more of a watch-after person, if you're watching this stream on YouTube right now, because you're a watch-after person, Rev's Scarecrow also has a channel which he calls Rev Scarecrow After Hours, which he uploads all of his stream archives to. So that's that. Get that ready. That is all for stream news today. Yeah, because I got through all the community news yesterday. Alright, so we're starting on chapter 24 with Aradia and Solix and Jade. That's right, we just got to their introduction right before I had to leave for camp, so now we are right on here. And with checking in with John and Terzi, with their commentaries scattered throughout, I think, if I remember this chapter correctly, I am going to thoroughly enjoy it. Hive Swap barely prepares you for Homestuck. Yeah, no, Hive Swap is barely prepares you for Homestuck. The Hive Swap friend sims are a lot closer to preparing you for Homestuck, but like, I don't know if anything can really prepare you for Homestuck. I think the friend sims are probably the closest thing. Or, I don't know, maybe Earthbound? Because while he was streaming, he's like, yeah, this is basically Earthbound. And everyone in chat was like, that's because Earthbound was a heavy influence on Homestuck. Oh, names suck. Hello, welcome. We are just about to get started. Alright. I'm going to have a sip of water, and I'll start reading. Okay. "24. The timelines are interacting again. Ooh, do you hear anything interesting? Don't be so nosy, Aradia. Aradia throws her legs over the edge of the ancient meteor facility and kicks them out into open space. Far below her feet, the meteor is wildly overgrown. It landed here millions of years ago, after its fateful 3-year journey where it hosted several trolls and humans as they had a variety of critical coming-of-age experiences. It will stay here for millions more years, where it will remain indefinitely on a barren, desolate Earth sea, waiting to host a single shrub child chained to its bedroom. But for now, it hosts these 3. Dead Jade, whose body also happens to be hosting a shrub at the moment, is doing the same thing she does every day, sitting with her legs crossed and her eyes closed, using her still teenage body to scry into the abyss. The light from the outer rim of the stratosphere casts her face in powdery blue light. It's certainly a more becoming avatar for Calliope most would find. The Calliope who Roxy calls a friend, in her moments of greatest self-reproach, would die for a body like this. The version of Calliope who's been dead for eons, however, waiting for exactly this moment in history to reinstate her corporeal presence, couldn't care less about her host's appearance. It is simply serving as a functional vessel for the crucial role she now must play. Josie and Toby are the only valid creators of Earthbound-inspired things. I am inclined to agree with that statement. Yeah. Yes, of course. When Earthbound comes up, there must also be mentions of Undertale. What would you classify as interesting? Oh, the usual. Death, romance, astounding feats of destruction and chaos. Tell us what happens in the dream bubbles, oh great muse. Please don't. Very well. Let's see. Solix is just like, fuck all of this. That's been his attitude through basically right from the get-go. He's just like, fuck all of this. I mean, he was very enthusiastic about playing the game right up until he found out that Aradia low-key lied to him about its purpose. Whoops. I think I'm dying. Oh no! What happened? Nothing. That's the problem. I've been out here for so long I can't even remember how much time has passed. I'm out of supplies and I have no idea where I am. And I'm starting to think some really crazy things. Like, maybe None of it's real? Yes. How did you know? Hussy is an e-boy now. He is indeed. Yeah. We took a peep at his new Instagram page on stream yesterday. It is quite the sight. I've been thinking the same thing too recently. Lots of crazy, crazy things. And keeping them to myself is making me feel crazy. So the thoughts just get crazier. Yeah, I can't remember the sound of anyone's voice but my own. Well, your voice is pretty unforgettable. Are you negging me, Egbert? Maybe? Pretty half-assed. But I'm flattered you think my voice is adorable. No, I was obviously implying that your voice was annoying. Come on. These fucking two. I got that. But since it was a bad neg, you were actually suggesting the opposite, which means you think it's cute, right? I'm sorry, Your Honor, but the defense would like to plead the right to, stop talking about this. First of all, as I've already explained on numerous occasions, defense isn't a thing in my culture. Exactly which candy-assed legal tradition are you trying to reference here? I don't know. I just said a thing that sounded kind of... Sorry, my brain is... Wait, Loki what? What's Loki? I'm missing the context for your question, sorry. I don't know. I just said a thing that sounded kind of lawyery. You know, as like a joke. You do remember jokes still, Terzi, or did you forget those too? I'm just curious about the pathetically soft legal traditions of your old planet. One can at least hope your new planet has figured out a judicial system that has more teeth. Yeah, I think Earthsea has been getting there lately. Yikes, yep. You have no idea how much this warms my pump biscuit to hear. Well, I'm glad at least you're getting a kick out of it. Please, John, I don't have much anymore. Just let me have this. Okay. For someone who's suffering so much, you sure seem like you're still full of piss and vinegar out there. Are you sure you're dying? Yeah, I'm sure. Aradia leans over and sticks her nose in Dead Jade's face. She watches how her eyebrows wrinkle at the center just a little bit. So, what do you see? Nothing I would describe as interesting. Please stop distracting me. Okay, if that's what you really want. It is. Aradia, could you stop fucking bothering her? What are we even doing here? Serving as, like, the attendants for this super ancient and wise goddess or whatever the fuck she is? If all you're gonna do is get in her face and hassle her about whatever cool shit is going on in her visions. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just really curious. Piss and vinegar, I know, right? That feels like simultaneously a John thing and not a John thing to say. Because it's a little bit of an older euphemism? That's not the right word. I don't think that's the right word. But turn of phrase, I guess, is more accurate. I don't know. I would say, maybe it's something he heard his dad say, but he had this very clean-cut vision of his dad, so I highly doubt that Dad Egbert would let that slip in the potential presence of a child. Hung out around Dave too much. That's true. That does sound a lot more like a Dave-ism or a Carcat-ism. So he definitely could have picked it up from either of them, yeah. No sign of her yet? No. Terezi, seriously. It's been years here. When are you going to give up and accept that she's probably... Probably what? You know. Dead. Terezi, Vriska's dead, and none of us are going to see or hear from her ever again. Which is... All of this heavy insistence that Vriska is dead is such a fucking... red herring dramatic irony bullshit. God. Not even you. And you know what I think? I think that even if you did find Vriska, it wouldn't matter. Because I don't think she even deserves your friendship anymore. Oh? If she cared about you as much as you care about her, she wouldn't have fucked off like this forever. Driving you crazy with doubt and uncertainty, making you chase her through infinite nothingness until you almost starved to death. She would have at least given you the courtesy of closure. Haha, that's not what Vriska is like, John. Yeah, I guess not. So why are you still trying so hard? Oh yeah, infinite laughter at the heavy insistence that Vriska's dead. God. But the courtesy of closure just makes me think of what's coming, and I'm just like bracing myself for it. Aradia stretches her arms over her head and yawns. She launches from her perch at the edge of the meteor facility with a little somersault, coasting through the air so that she's level with Solix's face. She gives one of his horns a light tap to affirm her proximity. She talks in 5-word sentences, so even I'm still in the dark about what it is she's really trying to accomplish. From what I've pieced together, she needs to stay in these trances or we're all doomed. Aradia, being doomed is all I used to ever talk about. Even I've chilled out on all that shit now. So you don't believe her? Shrug. All I'm doing here is keeping you company, like usual. The work is important. See? Okay, the least she could do is tell us why we're all doomed. Vriska's never die. I mean, there's a timeline out there that says otherwise. But, yeah, no, I get what you're getting at. Vriska's just, one of those characters who's always comes back to bite the narrative in the ass. Doomed is not a word I would use to describe the condition of those on this world. Even if my work is unsuccessful, the stakes for everyone here have nothing to do with the issue of mortality. To frame the matter that way would be misleading. To the extent that it is my naturally endowed duty to defend the innocent from wanton acts of destruction, from degradation, and from dissolution, it is also my duty to tell the truth to those who I protect. And the simplest statement of truth for all of you to know is this: we are the lucky ones. Calliope lets out a long, thin sigh from between the teeth of Jade's corpse. It's more for effect than anything, as corpses don't actually need to breathe. We are the ones fortunate enough to live in a reality that is beyond the influence of the prince. Who the fuck is the prince? One Dirk motherfucking Strider, my friends. I've never told anyone this before. Well, not anyone who cared enough to listen, at least. But for a long time, I've felt like there's something wrong with me. Like I'm missing something important. Oh shit! This line just fucking snapped into place and punched me in the face. Okay, not anyone who cared to listen, at least, because then she starts talking about like feeling like she's missing something important, which is exactly what she talked about in those messages, the final messages that she sent to Vriska, that Vriska hasn't seen yet. Damn. But for a long time, I felt like there's something wrong with me. Like I'm missing something important. The thing that everyone else has that allows them to be satisfied with the way things are. Like there's a huge void inside my heart, and I'll never have what I need to be happy. Not by myself, at least. Does that sound stupid? No, Terzi, that just sounds like depression. No, I feel like that too. I felt that way for years. Like, maybe I died? Or maybe everyone died back in the medium, and I'm the only one who realizes it. Like I'm that kid in the movie where Bruce Willis is dead and as a surprise at the end. Except Ghost John crawled back inside my skin and he's wearing it like a Halloween costume. And that's why there's a huge hole inside me. Maybe that's why it feels like you're the only person who understands me anymore. Because we've both got big, howling ghost holes inside of us. And talking to each other makes it feel less lonely. That's what we did, Terzi. We filled each other's holes. Yes, I have this whole, like, nice, like, very serious, like, damn, that's deep shit. And then he's like, we filled each other's holes. And it's like, John, how did you not catch that before you hit send? But yeah, this sounds like, yeah, definitely a wonderful combination of depression and post-traumatic stress, which, oof. What? Reread what you just wrote, dumbass. Ugh, Terzi, get your mind out of the gutter. I thought we were having a serious moment here. John, I am serious. John, I am serious. I think this is the end for me. I'm dizzy and sick and I can't smell straight. I feel like I could just lay down in this endless sea of nothing and just go to sleep. At this point, it would almost be a relief if I didn't wake up. You don't have to do that, Terzi. You could just come home. Please come home. Then what? I don't know. We hang out and stuff? Oh, y'all are doing the triangle stuff? Yeah. Agreed. I mean, math in general, not the most fun for a lot of folks. But yeah, triangle formulas. Damn, it's been a while. My voice is cutting in and out? Oh, fuck, what? Shit, I don't know how to tell if that's the stream or my microphone. Okay, wait. Okay, cool. I've got my streaming software underneath my web browser so I can see the little mic thing, so I can see if it's like the hardware or if it's like a stream issue. But, I will keep an eye on that, or as much of an eye on it as I can while I am also reading. Oh, it could also be the stream. I'm looking at the little health indicator in the corner, and it's giving me yellows and reds, which is also not great. Alright. No, there's definitely some fucking dumb shit going on at my end too. Let's just see how it goes. You used to getting random noises, so you didn't register for a while that it was cutting. That's valid. Yeah. I'm just gonna, yeah. I'll keep an eye on my little toolbar or whatever here. And, keep it moving. Just kind of monitor the status of everything. I don't know. we hang out and stuff? John, you still don't get it. Earthsea is not my home. Do you really miss Alternia that bad? I did for a long time. More than Karkat and Kanaya did at least. But I have no idea anymore. Alternia, Vriska, Scrub. I'm so confused about what I want. I thought that not killing her would make me feel better, but instead it's like I retconned a huge chunk out of my soul. I erased an action of regret and grief, and just turned it into something I can't stop chasing after. Maybe what I did was necessary to save everyone else, but it sure didn't save me. So maybe that means the only thing left to do is let her go. Or the only thing left to do is let her go? I can't, John. Not even while I'm on death's door, apparently. Terezi, I think it's time for me to go. Goodbye, John. No, don't go. Please, please don't do this. If you just go off and die and I never hear from you again, I don't think I can handle that. John, stop this. You're embarrassing both of us. Terezi, if you had no intent of ever coming home, why did you even bother calling me? Are you really telling me that you didn't want me to talk you out of it? I really didn't. Then what did you want? Let's say I just wanted to give you the courtesy of closure. Ugh. Stake through the heart. That's such a good conversation, though. Like, such a well-written, but ouch. Dead Jade's eyes slowly flutter open. She gets to her feet and brushes down her skirt. Are you done working for the day? The work is never finished. Not until I am able to deal with the prince myself. And when will that be? The meteor is passing beyond the fall of night. Dead Jade, standing half in light, half in darkness, looks up at the sky. Not soon enough. No, I'm pretty sure that's the correct line. Show through the heart and you're to blame. And it's you give love a bad name. Yes, that is indeed the correct line. But, yeah. So, after this conversation, this is when Terezi runs into Meet John floating around out there, and then they do their all the stuff that they do out there. A variety of things. Floating around in the car and such. My god, it's only 11:30. Yay! Okay, chapter 25. I will start in a minute. Just gonna have some water. Oh my god, we are with motherfucking... what's this, the fancy title? Shit. Rebellion Karkat. Those are the words I'm looking for. Motherfucking Rebellion Karkat. I'm pumped. Oh my god. This fucker. Okay. And Swiffer Eggmop. Okay. "25. Swiffer, can you..." Karkat winces as the ground above him shakes and a scattering of dirt and debris rains down from the roof of the cave. His fledgling rebellion has found cover in the spiderweb network of tunnels running to and from the troll capital, originally built to accommodate the transit of incestuous slurry from the boonies to the mother grub. Though technically regarded as a critical infrastructure project, the caves have never been used or appropriately surveyed by the world government. Back when all were on better terms, Jane was gracious enough to believe the maps Kanaya handed over were anything approaching accurate. With the tunnel entrances at the brood pit... Wow, I'm like stumbling over this whole paragraph. Let me try this again. 25. Swiffer, can you... Karkat winces as the ground above him shakes and a scattering of dirt and debris rains down from the roof of the cave. His fledgling rebellion has found cover in the spiderweb network of tunnels running to and from the troll capital, originally built to accommodate the transit of incestuous slurry from the boonies to the mother grub. Though technically regarded as a critical infrastructure project, the caves have never been used or appropriately surveyed by the world government. Back when all were on better terms, Jane was gracious enough to believe the maps Kanaya handed over were anything approaching accurate. With the tunnel entrances at the brood pit sealed, the rebellion was safe for now, but the presidential drones were testing the ground relentlessly, closer and closer every day now. It's not the dirt that's bothering him. Dirt is something you get used to, living hand to mouth inside a cave. It's that persistent fucking leak directly above his desk that is driving him to distraction. Swiffer Eggmock pokes her head into the chamber. Aye, Commander. What's up? Karkat pinches the bridge of his nose. For the last time, don't call me that. Why not, Commander? You're the commander, ain't you? No, I am not the commander. Did I even ask to be in charge? Did I ever accept an official appointment from some ostentatious military board? Have I ever successfully led a campaign against the increasingly oppressive regime that we suffer under on a daily basis? The answer to all of these questions is categorically and catastrophically fuck no. Well, gee, Commander, I think it's more of a symbolic title, representing how much faith everyone has in you. What fucking faith? As just discussed, I haven't done a damn thing to earn anyone's faith. So far, all this troll rebellion has amounted to is a whole lot of dick all with an additional side serving of jack squat, followed up by a final course of getting to watch our top analyst, Clipper Borden, being forced to dance to avoid life imprisonment in a labor camp on live television and making a complete ass of himself. Whew. That was a mouthful to read. Also, Clipper Borden, the other troll from the credits. Also, that's Jake's dance-off show. It sure fucking is. Oh, you love Swiffer so much. I do too. I really appreciate that they made Swiffer Eggmop and Clipper Borden like epilogue canon characters, like with the names that we gave them. Karkat gestures towards the display screen showing a commercial for the next episode of Doing the Charleston with Notable Social Figureheads, Stars vs. Enemies of the State, with your host, Jake English. Swiffer's taciturn broodmate Clipper is indeed making an absolute fool out of himself in the recap from the previous week's show, failing to keep time with the jaunty beat and struggling to knock his knees together with the required rigor. The fact that he is shackled at the wrists doesn't seem to be helping. Poor Clipper. He could record a stat like nobody's business, but no one ever taught the boy how to dance. If only we knew, this all could have been avoided. No! He shouldn't have to dance if he doesn't want to. That's what this is all about, Swiffer. Oh. But what's the point if I can't even save one of my lieutenants from mortifying public embarrassment followed by a lifetime of hard labor in the cake mills? If I can't protect members of the so-called resistance from the fickle and cruel vagaries of Jane's insane pastry-based shadow dictatorship, how are we supposed to protect the common people? Swiffer frowns and tugs at the kerchief around her neck. Golly. Look, Commander, that's a big question that I think you gotta take up with someone more in the know than myself. I'd just swift the floors. Oh, yeah. Right. Speaking of which, the leak in the ceiling? Karkat throws both hands in the air melodramatically. A drop of still water plops off one of his nubby little horns. I can picture this so perfectly. and I love it. Karkat just, the leak in the ceiling, and then whips his fucking hands up in the air like this fucking thing right here. I need a sip of water before I keep going. You know, right above the place where we keep all of our fragile logistics equipment. Didn't I tell you to fix that a fucking week ago? Well, sir, you told me to take care of it, and I sure as heck took care of it. Then why is it still leaking? Oh, by fix, you meant you wanted me to plug the crack. What the hell did you think I meant? I thought you meant for me to mop up the water that had gathered, and then use the water to swift the bejeebus out of the floors, which is, by all accounts, what I did. Karkat gapes at her, open-mouthed. She grins back, unaware of any mistake on her part. The only thing he can do is bury his face in his palms. Swiffer appears in Homestuck 2 or whatever's coming after this. Same. If we get any more Earthsea content, I really want to see more Swiffer. You know what? I'm going to go get some fresh air. By the time I get back, I expect the hole in the ceiling to be swift the fuck closed. Or at the very least, put a fucking bucket under the leak or something. Sir! Oh my gosh. A bucket? Should we be seen consorting with the bucket? Together? Oh my god. Grow the fuck up, Egg Mop. Yeah. This sentence here. He stalks past his blushing assistant with a belabored sigh. Karkat has lived with humans for so long that he's grown used to seeing buckets regularly defiled. Now that he thinks about it, he realizes Jade has used more buckets to grow snap peas in her living room than any troll has used for the purposes of reproduction in the entire history of Earthsea. The bucket taboo is largely emblematic at this point. An empty signifier for an endangered culture. As he stomps through the winding tunnels, thinking very hard about this incredibly tragic thing, his speaker crab crackles to life. Speaker crab! I love that he still has and uses a speaker crab. That's character growth. That is fucking character growth. After the... I'm just like, it's making me remember the fucking, John throwing the bucket through Jade and it smashing directly into Karkat's face. And how much he, flipped the fuck out about that. Oh yeah, there's a lot happening here. Okay. Yep, okay. Well, that was a lot. Oh, shit. I didn't realize you were still on the line. We hadn't finished our conversation about the clandestine transportation of the mother grub, which I hope you realize is still an operation of grave importance, at least on par with the terrible threat of the leak in your office. Sorry, I kind of have a lot going on right now. I can see that. Please do not be so hard on Swiffer. She really does try her best. Yeah, I know. To be honest, that wasn't about Swiffer at all, or even about the leak. Yes, Carcat, that was obvious. Rose and I have been following the dance-off tribunals very closely this month. Your lieutenant does not have a chance, but do not let it weigh heavily on you. Everyone who joins the rebellion knows that being exiled to the cake mills is a very real possibility if they are caught. That includes you, Carcat. If you bear the responsibility for the lives of every member of the rebellion, you'll crack under the stress, and as much as you are loath to admit it, you are the face of this movement. Yeah, I hate it, but you're right. Fuck you, you're always right. As my wife likes to tell me often. My wife! Oh my god, this is... Ugh, fuck her, she's always right too. How the hell do you two tolerate each other? Quite thoroughly, enthusiastically, and often. I love this entire fucking... I love this entire exchange. Wow. Ugh, okay. That's enough of you for today. Oh, I am sorry. I did not mean to rub my interspecies happiness in your face. I understand that it is a sore subject. The only thing that's sore is my eavesdrop funnels from listening to your endless mothering. Carcat, I am sure that if you were to just... Don't. Call Dave and ask him to join you. Wow, is that another cave-in I hear happening suddenly all around me? He would be at your side instantly. The moment she brings Dave up, Carcat is noping the fuck out of there. Oof. Kanaya, we're being overrun by Imperial drones. It's horrible. There's death and fire everywhere, and also I can't hear a fucking word you're saying, so if you were to ever attempt to reference this conversation in the future, I would have no idea what you were talking about. So it would probably be best for everyone involved if you drop the subject and never mention it again. Okay, Carcat, have a good walk. I'll talk to you about the mother grub tomorrow. Goodbye, and take care. Oh, yeah. You take care, too. Talk to you tomorrow. Carcat makes extra triple sure that he's actually hung up on Kanaya for real this time, by fiddling with the tiny claw on his speaker crab until it's in the off position. The action of tuning his outdated wristwatch is interrupted by another earthquake rumbling around him. This one sounds different, however. He knows the sound of a drone strike like the back of his hand by now. It's a low, creeping bellow that pulses through the ground in waves. This sounds more like an impact that left a crater. The last time something struck the planet that hard, it was Jade's creepy undead corpse. Carcat runs for the... Oh, fucking hell, this shit. Carcat runs for the nearest exit and cautiously pokes his head out into the clearing above. There's a figure in the smoke. Her stumbling silhouette includes an unmistakable pair of horns. She takes 2 steps out of her crater before falling flat on her face again. Carcat runs to help her, putting her arm over his shoulder and dragging her out of the dust cloud from the impact. Mina? What the fuck are you doing here? Mina blinks up at him with a pair of eyes that seem different to him somehow, but he can't put his finger on it. He has to admit, it's been a long time since he saw her. She seems singed, woozy, but mostly undamaged. Whoa, Shreddy McNubbs, that you? That's still not my name, but yeah. Nice. Whatever happened to fighting Lord English? Did that work out, or what? Nah, it was a total wash. Oh. Karkat continues inspecting her without much concern for coming across as weird. He knows something's off about her. He just can't figure out what. Then a reflective gleam catches his eye. A gold ring on her finger. He glances up and looks in her eyes. They aren't blank like all the other fallen ghosts' eyes are. Wait a minute. Are you alive? Yeah, bitch. I'm back. Where the fuck did you get that ring? Wait, you didn't... Mina, did you rob Calliope? Who? The girl with the hideous green skull for a head. That was her ring. I was under the impression she needed that to live. Oh. Nah, man. It's not hers. I got it from some other total sucker. Who? Don't matter. Complete bonehead chump you ain't be hearing from again. Rip. R.I.P. Can't, meet John. Mina, are you fucking lying to me? Nubs, I wouldn't do that to you. Not after all this time. Your girl's fine. This shit's my own damn ring. Capices? Karkat side-eyes the revived heiress, flinching only slightly at the last pun before offering a reluctant nod. What are you up to? Well, that's like the whole fucking explanation. Explain away, nubby. I'm sort of in the middle of staging a wide-scale grassroots rebellion against an increasingly authoritarian global hegemony that is oppressing our people. Sad emoji, but also, yeah, capices instead of capiche. Classic Mina, fitting fish puns into anywhere and everywhere. Mina leans in, assessing Karkat with a rapacious, shark-toothed grin. It seems that whatever she's seeing in this older, battle-hardened version of Karkat impresses her. She starts laughing, big and bright. She slaps him so hard on the shoulder that he nearly falls down. Ah! Now that's what I'm talking about. That should be a boat. Speaking of fish puns. Or sea puns. Yeah, I could use a new second in command. Actually, you'd be my second in command. No offense or anything, but my face is already on all the posters. Also, I don't exactly have the most confidence in your command abilities, considering the last time I saw you, you were talking big about how you were gonna take down Lord English, and now you're eating dirt on our shitty new planet looking pretty fucking defeated. But to be honest, I need all the help I can get. Oh yeah, no problem. I'll be your fucking second guy. You will? Flip yes. Wow. Yeah, dude, just point me to where the action's at. I don't even give a fuck. What are the orders, boss? Okay, this is like, I'm not even sure how to say this. I'm actually really flattered and kind of sincerely honored that you of all people want to follow me. It's like completely not at all what you're ruining it, dude. Oh, fuck, sorry. I mean, hey, fish asshole. Who, me? Yes, fucking you. The fallen fascist dipshit with a stolen ring. Get the fuck in line before I put you in line. Oh, wow. Yes. Yes, sir. Oh my god, I love the enthusiasm from both sides of this fucking roleplay. Karkat reaches out and takes her hand. She has a very firm handshake. So firm that Karkat winces an eye shut when she squeezes and hopes that she doesn't notice how much his smile has turned into a grimace. Above them, the sky tears open again and again. A new wave of ghosts pours from Mina's doomed assault. Well, here comes the caviar reel. That, like, on paper looks like a decent fish pun, but trying to wrap my tongue around it is not fun. Okay, here comes the caviar reel. Caviar reel. Okay, I'm not going to try and say that again. The what? The caveat. I'm also fucking ordering you to stop making garbage fish puns forever. Okay. Chapter 26. Alright, this looks like it's going to be a shorter one. So I'll read this one and then we'll do break. Yay! Oh yay, that means we're going to be getting through even more chapters than I thought we would today. Which I do enjoy. I like making progress. 26. John stares at his phone for a while, thumb pressed to the space just below the send message button. He realizes he's not dwelling so much on the content he's hesitating to send, which, now that he's looking at it, seems no less vapid than anything he tends to bother Terzi with online, as he is on the nature of this correspondence they have, and his peculiar semi-annual need to bother her this way at all. What is this relationship they have? He wonders. Does he even care that much? Does she? But if he doesn't care that much, and there's nothing to it, then why does he do it? Why does he seem to put care into the nonsense he badgers her with? He supposes he could ask the same of many features of his life. Why does he care? Why does he put the time in? When you can't shake the feeling that nothing here has much intrinsic meaning, or rings as canon, to drop a term he has to admit has worn out some welcome in his vocabulary, how does one justify even leaving the house? He thought he was over this, that he got his moping out of his system those first few years on Earthsea and then started getting his life on track. He got married, he had a kid. That fixes everything, right? No. Depression is depression. It is not this easy to fix. Fix isn't even the right word for it. He wonders if his intermittent check-ins with Terzi have less to do with her personally and more to do with gravitating towards someone who's still out there. Someone who can still lay credible claim to functioning as an agent of relevance. A person who hasn't entirely forfeited their volitional integrity just yet. Like a guy with a wife and a kid. Not a bad joke he just told himself, he has to admit. But it's not satisfying, because it's probably not the answer. The truth is, he thinks he just keeps texting Terzi because she's the only one he knows who isn't here. John drifts aimlessly through the atmosphere for hours, thinking but not thinking. The forest below grows thin, alien. He floats past the border of the Troll Kingdom, where the grass starts to get sparse and gray, and sets down in a quarry surrounded by bare, thorny bushes. Instead of flowers, they're sprouting throbbing yellow pustules. John touches a branch, and one of the pustules breaks, leaking mustard-colored slime everywhere. How could you be homesick for a place like this, John wonders. Then he remembers Terzi once told him about the place she grew up in. A quiet forest of blueberry and cotton candy. A canopy so dense she had to walk for minutes from her house to be exposed to the sun. Even Alternia had a beauty in it. But John is sure that Earthsea probably replicates it in the same way it replicates everything else. Thin and garish and fakety fake. A bad photocopy with the ink settings turned to high contrast. A sunrise that casts no shadows. He's been contemplating this melodramatically for maybe 10 minutes when the sky rips open above him and flashes violent waves of red and green across the landscape. Having dead trolls deposited from the sky like this is far from unusual these days, but what comes plummeting out of the rips in space above this time isn't troll-shaped at all. It looks more like a meteor. A flash of metal and fire screaming toward the planet, trailing thick black smoke behind it. It outpaces the flames for a moment, and John recognizes it. It can't be. There's no way. And yet, there's no mistaking it. It's his father's car. A whole ton of white metal oxidizing in the heat, the windows all smashed open. If anyone's in there, he can't make them out. John feels like he watches the car descend and crash against the earth in slow motion. It hits the ground with an impact that reverberates for miles, which I do believe would be what Carcat felt. No, wait. I literally already forgot that Mina was what the meteor that Carcat felt. Y'all, brain machine today, not working at full capacity. He's never moved so fast as he does to reach the crater. He skids to a stop at the rim. Below, the car is twisted and steaming, curled into horrible, jagged edges, but the back half is mostly intact. He sends a thrust of wind through the back of the carriage to blow both doors off and crawls inside to examine the seats. Didn't you just finish talking about how the metal is fucking searing hot? Isn't this kind of dangerous and not a great idea? Yeah, that moment when your dad's fucking car crashes it from the sky right in front of you. Like, damn. Like, I understand that he is in shock. He's like, shit, what the fuck's going on here? I gotta get in on this shit. But, yeah, if I read to the end of this paragraph, just to make absolutely certain no one was in it when it crashed. The metal of the frame is still so hot that the air around it sizzles, but John doesn't care. Yeah, it's still boiling fucking hot, but, like, he's having a bad time and does not care for his own well-being right now. The back seat is a mess. It's smeared with shaving cream? With little bits of something strewn about. He pinches some of the dry, brown, flaky substance and sniffs it. Is this tobacco? Mingling with the shaving cream, there are red bloodstains, but no flesh or bones or anything signifying the remains of a person. John puts a hand to his chest and sighs with relief? Disappointment? He has no idea what he was hoping to find in here. Not his father, right? That would be stupid. Who needs to put eyes on their own father's corpse twice in one lifetime? But then he sees it. A streak of teal smudged along the top ridge of the seat cushion at the center of a red, bloody handprint. With wide eyes, John reaches out and runs a thumb over it. It chips under his nail, the same consistency as human blood. The same color as Terezi's text. He rubs the flaky crust between his fingers. He only stopped talking to her a few hours ago. Time passes differently out there, as he is often reminded. She was so sure she was dying. Was this it? Was this how she... John reels back, nausea striking him in the pit of his stomach. What kind of twisted coincidence is this? Why is he finding this now? If Terzi was here, why? Who is she bleeding with in the back of his father's car? It finally hits him. Not just that he hasn't seen Terzi in years, or that he was never going to see her again. It's that he never was going to see her again. It was over before it began. John's body is drenched in sweat. He staggers away from the mangled car, his eyes stinging from the heat. He rips his glasses off and looks up at the sky, an unfocused and unspecific field of color and possibility. It looks like a flat canvas to him, yet behind its flatness he knows it stretches back through an infinite expanse of pointlessness, a limitless field of uncaring. It seems to mock him. He points his eyes at the sympathetic dirt instead. The soft earth seems to beckon him, and he finds himself sinking to his knees, fingers digging into the disrupted soil. It's still warm, humming with the energy from the car's meteoric fall. The sight of his arms stretched out in front of him warps in his blurry field of vision, bending and shimmering in the dying light. John realizes he's crying when the first wet droplets fall onto the back of his hands. They mingle with the dirt around him, turning the comforting earth to sticky mud. He doesn't get it, and he never has. A choked sob forces its way out of his chest. His fingers flex into claws, gathering up dirt into his shaking fists. He bears down until his knuckles turn white and his fingernails press sharply into the flesh of his palms. The pain makes him feel real. All he's ever wanted is to be fucking real. Then, as if it's not quite finished with the sky just yet, he turns his gaze upward to give it one last angry look. He feels consumed in that moment by the acuteness of his physicality and the overwhelming scale of his cosmic irrelevance. His lungs fill with air and he releases all his years of pent-up frustration and anger and guilt and doubt and weakness and pain and misery in a blood-curdling shout that sounds more like it's from the mouth of an animal than a man. John screams at the merciless sky until his throat is raw and he has no energy left even to cry. No one hears him, and if they had, it wouldn't matter. Fuck. I'm honestly at a loss for words. Like, when they get into the deep emotional prose like this, it's so good. It's so fucking good. It is so amazingly well written. It just rips your heart right out of your fucking chest. Yeah, like, I need a fucking minute after reading that. That was intense and climactic. And just so powerfully written and conveys just his raw fucking agony so well. Just, you know, the emptiness and the grief and the... I want to be able to write like that someday. Yeah, this is fucking, like, spectacular writing. Good thing is break. Indeed, it is time to take 5. So we can take 5 minutes before coming back and probably still being like, damn, and then reading chapter 27. Oh, God. I think, yeah. I mean, when I first read through all this stuff, when I first read through the epilogues, I blitzed this full 200,000 words in like 3 days. So there were a certain number of things that I didn't fully absorb. And I gotta say, as much as this chapter is like, it's incredibly tragic. But after rereading it right now, I think this is one of my favorite chapters in the whole of the epilogues, because it fucking hurts, but it's so amazingly well written, and it just hits all those points perfectly. Like, it really does an amazing job of taking you on that emotional journey with him. Okay. Let's take a breather after the intensity of that. Oh, good timing too, because it's a fucking 10-year gap when we start back in. Oh my God, Vriska and Harry Anderson. Yeah. So, I've got the 5 minutes on the clock. Let's take 5. Take a nice, deep, relaxing breather after that very emotionally intense chapter. And we'll return to something, I think, a little bit lighter. Yeah, I think this is the one that has... Oh, this is a long one. I think this is the one that has Jade and Dave's wedding. So it's going to be... Still lots of sadness, but I mean, hey, we get Vriska and Harry Anderson, so you get a good dose of fun in there, too. Alright, 5 minutes on the clock. We'll be back. Hello, welcome back. I hope that you all enjoyed hearing Megalovania. As it is indeed on the Volume 6 soundtrack, and a song that just played. I see in chat that you got excited. It is indeed quite a song. Verse sans is an interesting way to put it. Although, personally, I am of the opinion that it should be more associated with Aradia than Vriska, because... that was really, like, Aradia's triumphant moment. Like, yeah, okay, Vriska got, like, the shit beaten out of her, but that was Aradia's triumphant moment, y'all. But, anyhow, so let me take the break text off the screen. There we go. Okay, stream health is looking like garbage. I don't like that. Well, let's see what happens if we keep going. According to my dashboard, both in OBS and in Twitch, I am still going. I am still live, despite the fact that I am fairly certain the stream probably looks like garbage right now. Yeah. So it's about the megalovaniac. I suppose that is a valid point. But yeah, no, that's true. Also for good point, Sneak. If that's the logic, then it's not really a Sans song, because Sans isn't like that. No, Sans is not megalomaniacal at all. Alright, interesting points being brought up, but again, still don't know what these fucking titles mean. I gotta look that shit up. I'm sure somebody's figured it out by now. I mean, there is a time skip here, so it could just be like thematic chunks of the story as well as chronologic chunks of the story. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense. It's a player song because you're the megalomaniac. I suppose, yeah. Yeah, because it is at the end of the genocide run. ASMR Vriska and Sans fight behind a Denny's at 3 a.m. If they both get added to Smash, that should be their stage. Not like Vriska's land from the game or whatever. Not the cathedral where you fight Sans. Just behind a Denny's at 3 a.m. Sans is experienced in fighting mean teens. Okay. Epilogue 6. Still don't know what that means. Okay. 27. 10 years have gone by. 2 minutes from midnight, a teenage boy crosses beneath the neon lights of the trollish slums, stepping quick and sure-footed atop the cracked pavement as if this is a path he's walked many times. He's got on a coat 2 sizes too big and a brimmed hat pulled down to hide his distinctive buck-toothed grin. Above him, Jane Crocker's face beams out from a holographic propaganda display, reminding the populace that curfew is in 15 minutes. This boy would like to say that he's too cool and daring to care about curfew, but the sound of Jane's cloying, pre-recorded voice rising above the noisy streets sends an involuntary shiver down his spine. Luckily, the girl he's come to meet does not suffer from the same indistinctive Jane-based anxiety. She doesn't have many fears or inhibitions at all. About a block from where they usually meet, she swings out of an alleyway and yanks him in by his elbow. He lets loose a shrill, unmasculine noise right into her mouth before she shuts him up with a kiss. After a few minutes of extremely novice makeout action, Harry Anderson and Vriska part, both wet-mouthed and short of breath. Harry Anderson wipes a bit of blood off of his bottom lip. Vriska pokes him in the chest and hisses. So this is setting the stage. So we're getting all this description of, ooh, Harry and Vriska are meeting up. But this is a lot of exposition about what the world has become in 10 years. Because we already see 10 years ago, when Harry Anderson was 5. So Vriska and Harry Anderson are both 15 now. That was 10 years ago that we see Karkat underneath the ground in the Underground Rebellion. So the underground resistance has been going for like 10 years at this point. And of course we see the security has only ramped up and ramped up. There were already drones and raids before. Well, now 10 years later, it's gotten even worse. There's curfews, there's, this is the state of things after 10 more years of Jane's fascist rule. What took you so long? Hey, give me a break here, Vriss. My auntie has guards breathing down my neck day and night. Ugh, how'd you get out this time? Harry Anderson rolls his eyes. He has beautiful eyes. He's a pretty successful combination of his parents' genes, all things considered. He's got his father's infectious grin, his mother's long eyelashes, and his auntie's unusually blue eyes. Fucking Gamzee. He was all like, yo, Harry, my dog, you go out and get yourself up a slice of that prime beef brisket, my one true homie. Love is what makes the motherfucking earth spin on its axis. That and being politically neutral, brother. Jesus fucking Christ. Vriska doubles over laughing at Harry Anderson's impressively spot-on imitation of Gamzee's mulish lilt and vaguely lewd posture. Harry Anderson starts giggling too. He can't help it. She's so pretty, and her laugh is both cruel and infectious. God, he always makes sure to point out that he's politically neutral in literally every sentence that comes out of his mouth, even though he's definitely still fucking my aunt. Ugh, so boring. This is also boring. All in all, such a deeply unsatisfactory state of affairs. Yeah, I hate sneaking around like this. I wish I could see you every day. Or even, tell my mom that I have a girlfriend so she can stop pestering me about it. Vriska hooks 2 fingers under the hem of Harry Anderson's shirt and reels him in close. Gamzee shouldn't be allowed to refer to Vriska in any way. That is very true. Gamzee should not be allowed to even have a single thought about the fact that Vriska Merriam Lalonde exists. He shouldn't be allowed to think anything, really, but, there he is, still alive. But not for long, hey! In that case, why don't we run away and join the rebellion together, Harry Anderson? Wouldn't that be terribly romantic? We could be wild rebels in love, like Karkat and Mina. Oof. Isn't their story great? I get so inspired thinking about it. Oh, I don't know if I could pull that off, Vriska. I don't really have the, rebellious stature of someone like Karkat Vantis. He's extremely short in real life, I don't know if that's actually true. I think it might just be something people assume because of, you know, his personality. Like he's overcompensating or something. I mean, I don't remember him being that short. So this is like a direct, I am like 100% sure this is a weensy little barb at fandom for the prominence of short Karkat headcanons and why they became such a big thing in the first place. Because this, I remember way back in the day, this being a big part of why short Karkat just became a thing that people like a lot of people thought. This was a big part of the reason that it became so popular. Oh yeah? Last time you saw him, you were like 3 years old. Get real, Harry Anderson. Oh? And when's the last time you saw him? Ha ha! Because Vriska hasn't seen him in a while either. Vriska shoves Harry Anderson. Not playfully. He hits the bricks behind him with a soft oof and then keeps laughing. Oh my god, Vriska, you always talk so big, but you're not any more of a rebel than I am. Oh, shut up. You don't know shit, Harry. My moms are totally gonna get me a prime commission in the Resistance when I turn 16. Yeah, whatever you say. It's true. But until then, I guess we'll never know whether it's an official fact that Karkat is short or not. I guess so. But anyway, I wasn't talking about his height. I was talking about his eye patch. I mean, I believe in troll rights and everything. I should hope so. Not enough to lose an eye over it. Vriska snorts at him condescendingly. Don't be ridiculous, Harry. She pushes him up against the wall and kisses him hard. If we really do end up absconding from our mediocre hot teen lives to become rebels, then obviously I'm going to be the one with an extremely dashing and sexy eye patch. This is, of course, how very Vriska. The eye patch thing reminds me, I do have one thing bookmarked that I just am gonna bust out quickly here. From our good pal at Minda Reads Homestuck. This is a little quote comes from a little later in the chapter, but yeah, it's been pointed out that Karkat's eye patch is probably a reference to summer teen romance. Because, yeah, like, Dave skips, like, 30 fucking pages in the script and all of a sudden Karkat has an eye patch? But yes, this is likely the primary reason that they decided, why not just give Karkat an eye patch? Because summer teen romance is why. Excuse me. I am still not used to being up this late. God. Camp time really puts you to bed early. The only Paradox-based comic anyone cares about. I know, rip. All the Paradox-based comics are really cute and wonderful, but summer teen romance just, like, hit that... hit the fucking ouch Karkat emotions right in the head. You know what I mean? Fuck. Words. The conclusion of summer teen romance is very... yeah, it hit on a very important piece of Karkat's character and his development. Okay. And we are back with Aradia and Jade. We are checking in, and Solix. Jade, Calliope. We're checking in with these three. It has been 10 years. We're seeing where their mission is at after 10 whole years in the Candy timeline. Or 10 more years. So, that's right. If Harry Anderson and Vriska are 15, that means that they have been around for 15 years since they showed up on the day that Roxy's water broke. It's getting pretty bad down there. Who cares? This is officially something we don't care about, right? I don't know. Is it? This world is inconsequential. Well, there you have it. Aradia lies with her chin in her palms and looks over the edge of the meteor station. Under the shade of night, the cities of the Troll Kingdom form a twinkling filigree over the rocky landscape below, 100 rivers of gossamer lights in all the colors of the hemispectrum. Jane's fleet is so massive that it blots out the lights of the capital. Is this what Alternia looked like from the sky as well? Aradia lived far from the city, and that all seems so long ago anyway. Solix comes to stand by her, popping open a can of fizzy drink. Karkat's really going to fight that war, isn't he? Yeah. I didn't think he had it in him, but apparently all it takes for him to become the hero he was meant to be was for things to get extremely fucking stupid. Like, way more stupid than usual. Yes, it really is too bad he's reaching this heroic apotheosis of his in a world that doesn't matter. Please do not mistake the essence of my words for indifference. When I said that this world was inconsequential, I was talking objectively. We moved far beyond the realm of canon relevance, but on a subjective level, we can view this world as a glass bubble, fragile, solitary, with a surface uncracked. The actions, struggles, and feelings of its inhabitants are certainly not inconsequential to them. While abstracted heavily and fully freed from all forces of narrative gravity, these events still represent possibilities that slept within the hearts of all who reside here. Which is a very important line when it comes to discussing the characters themselves within the context of the epilogues, especially when you're talking about their development from Homestuck to the epilogues. Because that's the thing, right, with the epilogues, a lot of people were like, this is really out of character. I don't think this character would do this ever at all. But, and then like, well, it's not, you're saying like, oh, well, it's, it's not canon. It's like a fanfic, quote unquote, type thing, but yeah, like the actions of the characters here, they do still somewhat reflect the characters themselves. Maybe this is at like the lowest end of their reaction range. So the term reaction range comes to mind for me as a psychology student in university. Because reaction range is the term that is used in psychology to refer to the range of a person's potential in a certain area. You know what I mean? Like the same person who is, for example, being neglected and malnourished and is really struggling with their schoolwork because of that, might, if they were given the proper care and nutrition and all of that, might be excelling in school, right? So it's that kind of bottom end of a person's capabilities versus the top end if they're given all of the things that they need to reach that height. You know what I mean? So that's how I picture things like this. And that's, we haven't quite gotten into, so this is so this I feel is sort of related to ultimate self as well, when we start talking about the possibilities that lie in people's hearts. Before the epilogues, my kind of understanding of the concept of the ultimate self was that it represented the having everything about a person be at kind of the higher end of that reaction range, the fullest point of their potential, because it's supposed to be, right, like this conglomerate of every single choice that a person has made in every time could ever possibly make in any timeline, right? But the thing is, and an issue that a number of people have brought up with that as the concept of the ultimate self, is that if you have made every decision you could possibly make and explored every avenue, technically speaking, and this is the ultimate self, then that completely strips one of their individuality. So, right, because if it's just you have done everything everywhere all the time, then it's like, where's the uniqueness to that? If the ultimate self is everyone having done everything everywhere and made every decision, then where is the individual person among all of that? So, but my understanding of the ultimate self was more so with this kind of concept of the reaction range, right? Where it's like the ultimate self is the person at the peak of the reaction range, right? Like that is the culmination of the self and the culmination of all of the decisions that a person could possibly make and things that a person could possibly do across all these timelines, right? Like there's boundaries to everything, like there's certain things that a person, in no matter the timeline, no matter the circumstances, wouldn't do or would always do. You know what I mean? And then that kind of, reaction range is how I kind of framed how the ultimate self can still be an individual. Now, of course, this was before the epilogues fucked up all of my thoughts on this subject. And I hope that was coherent. I hope I was able to explain that in a way that made sense. I feel like maybe I was repeating myself a little. Or maybe just not making sense at all. But, yeah, I don't think I've ever, of all of the epilogue things, with all this talk of the ultimate self, I don't think I ever actually got into that before on stream, right? But yeah, so that's my kind of perspective on the ultimate self, as a psychology student, is the concept of the reaction range, basically, is how I kind of framed that. Yeah. But yeah, to loop it back around, yeah. So this is when people say these still represent possibilities that sleep within the hearts of all who reside here. Like, for Dirk, for example, becoming full-on megalomaniacal prince, that would be what we're seeing is kind of Dirk at the lower end of that reaction range of things that he can do and like culminate as. You know what I mean? Because this is Dirk who there were back after the epilogues came out, there were a couple of really good threads about the epilogues in the context of community support, and talking about how if you examine all of Dirk's kind of dialogue and interactions and what we know about how those first few years on Earthsea went before he went all Prince of Heart, ultimate selfie, in the events of the Meet epilogue, then it doesn't sound like he was getting the support that he needed. That he was showing signs of struggling, for example, like his joking about constantly joking about having to behead himself and like all that kind of stuff. Like there's I wish I still had the bookmark to that thread, because there was at least one thread that spoke very eloquently about the epilogues in the context of community support. But yeah, I just figured I would use Dirk as an example of this whole reaction range thing, because if, for example, Dirk was given more of that community support and that kind of outside the social supports, because we talk about in psychology like biopsychosocial, biological, psychological, and social factors in a person's like mental health, right? That social sector was fuzzy, so that in the grand scheme of Dirk, he hit wherever the fuck we saw in Meet. Yeah, so there are more possibilities that lie within the heart of all of these characters. That reaction range, it's fucking big. And so, it's not to say that Dirk has to be this. A lot of people are like, why are you doing this character? But it's like, it's not saying that this has to be what Dirk becomes. You want to write your own shit where he does better and like feels better emotionally, you know what I mean? Then like fucking go for it. And it's honestly just as valid as this, because this is only one possibility, right? So many possibilities for so many universes. Yeah. You zoned out, and the first thing you hear is the grand scheme of Dirk. Yeah, I'm just babbling about my own thoughts on the ultimate self and the possibilities of a person and like reaction range and like all this stuff. It's getting me excited to go back to school. First time tuning in, and it's fascinating. Oh, thank you. Welcome. Phoenix C? Am I pronouncing that correctly? The whole concept for the alpha timeline is sort of weird, especially in the epilogue and how they cross over with each other. Yeah, I mean, the whole idea of there being an alpha timeline, I mean, it breaks down, right? Because that's kind of the whole thing with the epilogues, right? Is that they're like outside of canon, so it's almost as if like, I mean, technically, after leaving the canon, is there an alpha timeline? Because Phoenix is fine? Alright, sweet. Yeah, and like, how can an ultimate self exist in a non-alpha timeline? Like, precisely, right? Like, a lot of these kinds of, because they talk a lot about like canon and not canon and ultimate self and all this stuff, but it's like, if we're no longer connected to an alpha timeline, then how does that change the way that we discuss these kinds of topics. Aleph, what did you just send in the chat? You're scared of it? Well, let me look first then. It's a song called Endless Possibility from the Sonic Unleashed OST. I will link it in the description of the YouTube video if there's anyone in the future watching on YouTube who wants to see. But, yes, I will listen to that later. I will not be able to play it now because I do not want to potentially get a copyright strike. But, yeah. Most valid take is that Terzi and Vriska are the only two canon characters. Yeah, I mean, it's... Yeah, that's kind of the implication, right? Is that, because Terzi exists in the canon, I mean, right up until she goes back to Earthsea with John, right? But that whole time, she's kind of, and in Candy too, right? We just finished with, chapter 25 and 26, where they have that whole conversation in chapter 25 about how John feels like Terzi was the only thing that was still real. So we're coming back to the, like, the whole thing with, like, things being canon and alpha, right? Because she's technically still inside. Words. Oh my god, why can't I remember what it's called? The space where the bubbles are. It's not the void, is it? I know there's another word that I'm not remembering right now. But, yeah. Oh, you're just tired you fucking around and not writing. Oh no, I'm sorry. But, yeah, where was I? Oh. Dream bubbles? Yeah, like the place where the dream bubbles were. It's the furthest ring. Thank you. That is what I was... That is the term that I was trying to think of. Terzi still existing in the furthest ring. Technically within the canon space. That is what I was trying to say. But I spent so long trying to think of that word that I don't remember where I was actually going with that anymore. But yes. No, that is a very valid take on the epilogues. Terzi and Vriska as the only two canon characters. Yeah. Anyway. Goodness. Went off on quite the tangent there, but yeah, this line inspired me a lot. Yeah. So just, if you don't like how your fave turned out in the epilogues, fear not. Reaction range, right? There's still limits on things. It's not entirely endless. The possibilities of a person are not 130% endless, right? But there's still a lot of room in there for you to just be like, I'm gonna write a fic where everybody helps Dirk be a better person and not fly off and kidnap Rose and be an asshole. Yes, the only character existing in the previous totally canon universe. Yeah. It's the entire purpose of Homestuck to keep Resi not totally canon for as long as possible. I mean, like, it could very well be. Where was it? It was in the author notes for Act 5. It was the book 4 author notes where Hussey was straight up like, I mean, it's also very hard to tell whether or not he's being serious in a lot of the author notes, but I think he was being serious about this one when he said that Terzi and Vriska's relationship just might be the most important romantic arc in all of Homestuck and like a driving force of the story. And it is a very prominent feature indeed. Why Terzi went with Dirk? I mean, because, like, he manipulated her. He got in her head. They had that whole conversation, right? Where he was where he nitpicked exactly the things that were bothering her about Earthsea and was like, got right in her ear and was like, you don't belong here. You're not comfortable here. You don't belong here. And you will never be either of those things. People like you and me, we don't belong here. Come with me. That whole conversation, right? So Terzi was just in a rough fucking headspace, and Dirk fucking took advantage of that and manipulated her, right down to exactly what she was feeling. Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about Terzi. When Terzi got back to Earthsea, and Dirk in her head just got in there and was like, you how did I forget this? Y'all, the epilogues are fucking long. It's like they don't necessarily have a direct conversation. It's like Terzi recognizes Dirk's presence in her head, and they converse like he's talking to her through her own head, and then she talks back to him out loud. I don't remember what chapter it is, but it's pretty close to the end of Meet. Yeah, it's like shortly after she has that conversation outside the hospital with Roxy. But yes, oh shit, we have 10 minutes to get through the whole rest of this chapter. Yeah, I gotta continue motoring through here, or we are not gonna be done this chapter for a while. But, yeah, so he just got the fuck in her head, and also fuck meet Dirk. They're the only mind and heart players. Yeah, I think it's definitely something to do with, like, Terzi detecting Dirk's presence definitely has something to do with her powers as a seer of mind. Oh, no, it's okay. Conversation is good. I just need to segue back into continuing. Yeah, fuck Dirk. Reading. Like, why he cared about her being with him. Oh, no, that is a good question. Why he's... Why did I never think about that before? I'm gonna take some time to reflect on that one. Like, why he cared about her being with him. Yeah, definitely something to do with the aspects. Because Dirk, at this point in time, was thinking purely logically. And, like tactically, rather than thinking emotionally about people. Also, yeah, we get super distracted all the time on here. Like, side conversations are super welcome. It's just sometimes we get side conversations enough, and then one or two folks are like, "Hey, are we gonna read?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's why we're here. I forgot that's the reason why we're here." And yes, sometimes we just go off for like a full 30 minutes at the beginning of the stream, like do not even read anything for that whole time. Maybe he just really likes seers. Yeah, that is potentially, there could just be something specifically about the way that seers manipulate their aspect that he finds advantageous to his goals as well. Yeah. Yeah, but that was a really good question. I hadn't considered that before. Why did he take Terezi? Makes me want to poke around the meat epilogue a little more, but indeed we technically read that one on stream already, but we can always pop back in if there's some digging to do. Okay. Good talks, good conversations. That was a good little theorizing. I liked that. That was cool. Oh, maybe he's scared of why he can't see into Roxy's mind and got a light and a mind seer to be able to see her aspect. That could be part of it, yeah. He has always he made sure to pretty bluntly state a number of occasions that Roxy has always been, that he can't get into his head, yeah. But although supposedly where they're going, like, he's not expecting any of the rest of them to show up, at least not for a while, because they're just, like, planting the seed of Spurb for a new session on this, like, random planet. That's what they're doing, right? We can double check that when we get to the postscripts, because we'll read both postscripts at the end of this, because Candy one has the meat postscript, so you can double check that one. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's all good. I mean, yeah, just depending on context, there's a bit of flexibility, I guess, because it just depends on if you're talking about which version and at what point in the timeline. There's like a lot of stuff going on there, but yeah, it's all good. Yeah, there's something about Dirk is exceptionally scared of not being canon anymore. Yeah, it's like it's something to do with his heart powers, right? Or is it an ultimate self thing that he can, like, because he does that thing with, like, the tapestry of canon, so to speak, and shows it to Rose. But it's like kind of implied that that Rose fully realized would be able to see that too. But she's a seer of light, so it could be very different for someone with a different set of powers. It makes sense for a seer of light to be able to see all of that, but Dirk as a Prince of Heart is just narrator powers. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. My brain is short-circuiting just a little bit. It's all good. Dirk being disturbed by his inability to see into Equi's disgusting mind. What? Prince versus Bard, destroy or be destroyed by? Class-specty things. Class-specty things I am not too strong with. What did... Oh, I got the URL wrong. Okay, class spec master post. Yeah, Bard and Prince are paired as the destroyer classes. Yeah, Bard is one who destroys blank or destroys through blank for others. And then Prince is one who destroys blank or destroys through blank for themselves. So that's Bard and Prince. It's not destroy or be destroyed by, but it's destroying for self or destroying for others. My goodness, excuse me. I don't even know if that came through on the mic, but I just yawned. Oh my god, it's almost 1. Okay. Alright, I am gonna streamline the conversation back into this chapter so we can continue reading here. Yeah, Rage is a weird aspect and Gamzee is a weird clown. Yeah. I mean, Rage is an aspect I find really interesting because it's because Hope, the Hope Rage dichotomy, right, is Hope is strong belief in the things that you believe in, and Rage is strong strong opposal of things that you think are false, right? Truth, kind of belief in the truth versus being against the false, right? This is very interesting dynamic to kind of explore. I hadn't really thought about things in that kind of framework until the epilogue, what's it called? Started reading more class spec-y things after the quiz came out, the official What Pumpkin quiz, and then I started realizing how myself and how the people around me fit into that framework of whether they fight strongly for what they believe in or fight strongly against what they believe is false, right? And which kind of tendency they fall towards. I find it really interesting to kind of as a lens to view people through and understand people's perspective through. Causality, that sounds like Leo changed the capitalist and therefore the worst. Yes. Let me Google that. Causality is just this sequence of events, I believe. Yeah, Google Dictionary is telling me causality is the relationship between cause and effect, or the principle that everything has a cause. That could be connected to Rage. I think that might also be connected more to Doom. But I'm not a very intense class spec theorist. I'm pretty casual, so I may be incorrect about that one. Okay. Where is it? We are here. On this line. They are drinking fizzy drink because it is candy timeline, so there needs to be candy and sweets everywhere. Just to drive that point right home. Okay. Solix tosses Aradia a can of fizzy drink. She catches it without looking, cracks it open, and takes a long, refreshing sip of the hissing liquid. In that case, I guess we should keep watching. On Earthsea, months go by at a breakneck pace. Teens fall in and out of love and hate. Alliances change, revolutions fully germinate, and wars commence. And somewhere within that mess, John Egbert is the best man at Jade and Dave's wedding. He lasts nearly 2 hours before he gets a ruinous case of the sniffles. No, it's because soda fucks. No symbolism behind it at all. None at all. It's absolutely not because it's a very sugary drink. It's just because soda is good. I find it interesting that they're using like soda as one of the things here, because I was just about to be like, oh, I haven't had soda in a while, and then I remembered it's because it's got so much sugar in it that it makes my stomach feel kind of sick, which is the whole point of candy in the first place. Right? Too sweet. Too much sweet will make you sick. The event is being held semi-clandestinely in the mansion of one of Jake's wealthy television exec friends, staged as a reunion party for whichever one of his old, stupid television shows people get nostalgic about these days. It's a smokescreen meant to throw the human government off the scent of political radicals like Rose and Kanaya partying just 20 miles from the seat of power. Jake claims there's no way they'll find them, but John sometimes gets the feeling that the whole planet's bugged. After nearly 10 years of unfettered monetary interference in the upper echelons of the global hegemony, could something like this possibly fly under Jane's radar? It can't, right? John likes to think she's not so far gone that she'd tip off the government to send troops to arrest her friends and family on the occasion of her ecto-daughter's wedding. When you drink Coke, but you switch to Sprite and you're fine now. Yeah, I know some have more sugar than others. Like, unfortunately, cream soda flavored things generally have a shitload of sugar, but they're so fucking good. I really like cream soda as like a flavor of pop. So he smiles his way through his best man duties, then smiles his way again through the gallows humor speech Rose gives at dinner, backlit by the flames of the Imperial drone factories churning away on the horizon. He wears a possibly genuine expression for a few moments as he dips down to give Jade a kiss on her forehead. She looks beautiful in her dress, and Dave doesn't look especially uncomfortable beside her. There is still joy to be found on the eve of war, as Rose says in her speech, but John found precious little to be happy about in this world, even before everything went off the fucking chain. He is conspicuously unaccompanied. Not alone, of course. He's been put in an honored seat at the head of the wedding party, with Jade to his left and Rose to his right. But Jade is with Dave, and Rose has Kanaya and their daughter, and everyone knows that John has lost his family to Jane Crocker. Well, not literally to Jane Crocker. What drove Roxy away was him being depressed and just an all-around huge wet blanket who was impossible to live with. John is totally ready to own the fact that he was a bad husband, but maybe not the fact that he was a bad enough husband to drive his wife to passively support a brewing genocidal dictatorship. Immortal capitalist autocrat is your worst fear for humanity. True. Isn't that just Trump? Well, he's not immortal. At least we have that. She looks happier, though. Whenever he's caught sight of her behind Jane, Calliope faithfully at her side, in any of the propaganda broadcasts that Jane passes off as a business press conference. By the time Roxy finally cut things off between them, he hadn't personally seen her smile in years. John has no idea how Harry Anderson is doing, but he definitely caught Vriska texting him under the table when he got up to get another flute of champagne. She's texting Tavros in another window, which is weird, but probably not as weird as John craning his head to read messages over a teenage girl's shoulder. The idea that Rose's shitty daughter has more contact with his son than he does makes his eyes start to itch. He wanders out onto the ballroom balcony so that no one else has to see him cry for a second time tonight. It's a balmy evening, and John can smell the oil burning at the forge across the harbor. He's close to death. The one person who can't be trusted with unconditional immortality. He stared at an eclipse and kept his sight. Jesus, did he really? Rapidly becoming unconvinced that he will ever die. He's always squinting. He is always squinting. Must hope for death. Or at the very least for him to just not get reelected. Or maybe even, no, I'm past the point of hoping for him to be impeached. Like, if it was gonna happen, it would have fucking happened already. God. Yeah, Olive, now that you're talking about it, I am specifically remembering that when the eclipse came out, everybody was like, this fucking idiot just stared directly into the sun during an eclipse. What the hell? There's someone else occupying the balcony already, and it's not one of the party guests. A shadow standing with his back to the ocean, arms crossed, gaze fixed firmly on the ballroom windows. John takes a step closer and immediately recognizes Karkat's nubby horns and distinctive shoulder hunch. Of course. John snorts back his tears and jaunts forward with a jolly wave. Hi, Karkat. Oh, just like the first conversation they had. Hi again, idiot. God. Fucking hell. Immortality is a curse if any more than a single being has it. I mean, I think even for a single being, nothing and no one should have complete immortality, especially if it's unconditional. I just think that's an all-around bad idea, even if it's only one dude. Throw him into the void yourself, you would. Yeah. With you on that one. Wait, 2 immortal beings equals I have no mouth and I must scream. An immortal human race is just hell, actually. Yeah. Immortality? I'm not big on it as a conceptual thing to be a thing. At the very least, be restrained and outlast anything. I suppose. Weren't there 6 characters in wait, is that a acronym for like a show or something? Because that's a lot of letters together. It looks a little bit like a key smash. That's true. You'd probably just watch yourself become Doc Scratch, and nobody wants to become Doc Scratch. Karkat blinks and looks up, startled out of his thoughts. He's grown gaunt since John last saw him in real life. In his Alternian military fatigues and his admittedly bitchin' eye patch, he looks almost imposing. Kind of dashing, actually. When he opens his mouth, however, he's just the same old Karkat. Hi again, idiot. Oh, it's a book and a video game. Okay, cool. What do the letters actually stand for? Like, what is the actual full title of the work? Because I don't think I've heard of that before. Like, I'm trying to think of what it could possibly stand for, but I'm just coming up with blank. What are you doing standing out here alone like a creep? Karkat's frown gets deeper, and he picks at the red cording that runs down the breastplate of his uniform. I really shouldn't be here. Why not? You were on the guest list. Oh, I don't know. Maybe think about it for 10 seconds, John. Oh, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream is literally the title of the book. Oh. I thought that was the thing that you were saying to encapsulate the emotional feeling of there being two immortal beings in it. Okay, it's actually called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Alright, interesting. Cool, I haven't heard of that one before. John chews his lip and thinks about it for 10 seconds. I guess this would probably be pretty hard to watch if you were still, all heartbroken about it. I wouldn't say that I was still all heartbroken about it, but... See, my first thought here was, yes, for the whole situation with Dave, but also, Karkat is the fucking leader of the rebellion. It's incredibly risky for him to even be standing on the balcony of this event. Just as a political figurehead. It's good, but very aggressive. Okay. Duly noted. I wouldn't say I was still all heartbroken about it, but... John joins him at the railing and bumps his shoulder. Karkat groans and runs a hand down his face, obviously still a little all heartbroken about it. It's just that breakups are hard and often have unexpected consequences that can linger for years. You're telling me, when my wife left me, she took an entire political faction with her. Those chess guys sure do love Roxy, don't they? John divorce man. He's fucking when my wife left me. I don't know what it is about John specifically saying that. That's just like, I shouldn't find it funny. Yeah, the Carpathian-Human alliance has been causing us nothing but pain, to be entirely fucking honest. No one wants to be against the Carpathians. They're harmless. The fact that they didn't even get to vote on whether or not they should ratify the treaty really complicates the matter. The whole thing is a disaster on just about every level. Epic divorce man! That is the phrase I was looking for, yes. I was like, there was a memeier way to word this, but yes, John Epic Divorce Man. John Epic Divorce Man Egbert. Oh, sorry about that. Oh my god, John, stop being so fucking pathetic for just a minute. Could you do that for me? I don't know. That's a pretty big favor you're asking me there, Karkat. Look, I don't personally blame you for any of this. First of all, for you to have had anything to do with a massive shift in geopolitical allegiances, that probably would have required you to leave your fucking house for more than an hour. Wow. Good pep talk. I'm 100% over my separation now. Thanks, Karkat. Although deep down John should be Arrow. That is a good headcanon for John, yeah. John, seriously though, you do have to get over Roxy eventually. With everything that's going on, can you really afford to waste another 5 years malingering in your bedroom like a piece of fucking garbage? You know, The rebellion could really use a guy like you. If you think that I haven't been given the exact speech you're about to give me, except 6 or 7 times the length, then you don't know Rose Lalonde. Okay, then what's the fucking problem? You hate what the government is doing just as much as the rest of us. No, wait, I inserted words into that sentence that were not there. You hate what the government is doing as much as the rest of us do. John turns around so he can rest his elbows on the banister. The angle of the moon is cutting a sharp stroke of light over the water, like a blade descending from the night sky to shear the harbor in half. He takes a despondent sip of his champagne and sighs. I don't know. It doesn't seem responsible, really, to dedicate my life to something so important when I'm in a place where I can't even find the energy to think that getting out of bed in the morning is important. In fact, it seems like it would be a pretty fucking selfish thing to do. What if I get distracted because I'm sad? What if I fuck up by staring too tragically into the distance on an important mission, and I get killed in a stupid way? John, aren't you technically immortal specifically in case of getting killed in a stupid way? Yeah, but you aren't. Neither are most of your followers. But yeah, this is like... That's a depression mood. It's like... Maybe if I get involved in this thing that I'm really passionate about, maybe this will spark it in me. You know, maybe this will be something that can, like, really help me get out of this hole. But then, what if I just fuck it up? Or what if I do a bad job because I'm just not there? It's stressful. But yeah, I feel this. The general vibe of this. I mean, I'm not afraid of getting killed in a stupid way by, I don't know, engaging with an art project. But... Yeah, I know, it's like, John, you are a god. You have some very hefty life insurance. But, yeah, no. I feel that vibe. I feel that. Karkat's expression turns hard, regretful. It's a frown made of granite or some other manly kind of rock that chips easily when dropped. His one eye is glinting bright gold, reflecting the light from the party. He opens his mouth to say something, but is distracted by movement from inside the ballroom. Oh shit. Here comes Dave. I have to get the fuck out of here. He fumbles with something at his wrist, and out pops a grappling line. With unexpected smoothness, he hitches it over the edge of the balcony and leaps the railing in a single elegant bound. John watches him rappel down the cliffside until he disappears beneath the precipice shadows. Wow. Karkat grew up to be kinda cool. Who would have guessed? The problem is, in fact, Nazis exist in 2019, and that should not be a thing in this world, and why are Nazis still a thing? Mood. That shit should be dead and fucking gone, but yeah, neo-Nazis sure do exist. Oh no, I'm Karkatkin. Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, I get passionate about political change too, but like I feel like kind of John, I guess, yeah, I feel that kind of John mood of just being like in not quite the right place to really be the forefront person, and just being like, that sounds fucking exhausting. Because honestly, even just having these kinds of conversations with friends and family just about the situation, and not even in any stance where I'm trying to engage with folks to create political change, that is fucking exhausting on its own. The world is fucking exhausting, y'all. Ugh. I'm trying my best, though. I swear I'm trying my best out here. We out here trying to create positive political change in our own sphere of influence. You got 4 suspensions from Twitter. Damn, so did Garcat. True. The most impact a single human life can make is depressingly small sometimes. I mean, it definitely feels like that a lot of the time. But butterfly effect, right? One small change can ripple out pretty big. You know? And that's, you know, a thing that I really value and that I try to remind myself of a lot is that, like, it's okay that not everybody can be the face of a movement and, like, the organizer and the one who's in the know about everything that's happening in a local political scene and, like, all that kind of stuff. It's just as important to make those small changes and have those conversations within your own local sphere, whether that be, you know, most famous peaceful political changes have come from. Yeah, I mean, there is also power in numbers. That's absolutely true. Power in numbers is what does drive political movements. But even that power in numbers, it builds from people interacting just within their own local group, right? Like someone who's like, I don't know if I'm comfortable going to this really big thing, but do you want to come with me, or do you want to go in my stead? You know, pulling more people in. I don't know. That was a bad example. I feel like I didn't word that very well. But yeah, it's even the biggest of movements have to start somewhere small. I'm losing track of my train of thought. I feel like I had another place where I started from that I intended to go to or something like that. But, yeah. Radio towers and Wi-Fi with the radius it can impact. Yeah. If you can reach more, you can extend that radius. That is true. Yeah, I mean, like, power in numbers is definitely a big and important thing. And that's what's so exciting about, like, you know, living in the internet age, but also terrifying because the fascist side is also using the internet to mobilize. Oops. Yikes. But yeah. Yeah, for sure. I see where you're coming from. That kind of the urge to have that reach and be able to really mobilize. It's definitely something that we need right now. Is some better form of mobilization. But I see great things from local movements happening online. Like, I mean, like, the thing that I'm thinking about right now is, this was specifically in New York. They passed, what the fuck did they do in the legislature? It was like, Y'all, I got a fucking article about this or some shit. Oh my god, am I even gonna be able to find it now? I fucking hate Twitter. It's such a useless piece of shit platform. Okay, y'all, I can't find this shit because Twitter's a garbage platform and I can't find anything on it ever. Yeah, they just get so trapped in their own... Yeah. Okay, yeah. No, that's a good point, Sneak Cat. It is indeed an exhausting conversation. Also, it's 1:30 in the morning. Technically, stream was supposed to be over half an hour ago. We're almost done this chapter. Let's finish this chapter. Let's wrap up on a positive note. I mean, like, it's not exactly positive things happening in this chapter right now either. However, we can wrap up stream on a positive note. I will try and bring things back to bright and cheery. But, I mean, we start off with Dave assuming that John is about to jump off the balcony in a suicide attempt. So that's not a bright, cheery... That's not exactly a cheery note to start on, but... Apathy or not deciding it. Yeah, no, I know. I am always pushing myself to do as much as I can within my sphere. But yeah, I also just don't live in an area that's like, it's super accessible to physically mobilize, you know what I mean? Anyway, bringing it back around to here. Yif train? I forgot what this whole... Okay. Same time zone? Yeah. Eastern Standard Time. It is almost 2 a.m. Whoops. Yeah, I'm going directly to sleep after this. Okay. So Carcat just took off because Dave is now approaching the balcony. No, John, don't do it. John spins on his heel to see Dave in the doorway, holding a bottle of champagne. He looks smart in his three-piece tux, but he's still sporting the same old Stiller shades, which always serve to remind John how hard it is to believe this guy's almost 40. Jesus Christ, are they seriously almost 40? Yes, they're technically immortal. That doesn't mean the encroaching milestone is making him... Yes, they're technically immortal, but that doesn't mean the encroaching milestone isn't making him feel dizzy nonetheless. New Hampshire. Mm-hmm. You're in Mountain Time, yeah. You're a couple hours back from us. Yeah, I'm in Canada. I am in the Canada land. In Ontario, specifically, which is... Look, let's just say the last provincial election, our provincial parliament turned very blue. Which, now that it's out of my mouth, addendum, blue is the color for the Conservative Party in Canada, and red is the color for the Liberal Party. Orange is the party of the New Democratic. Orange is the color for the New Democratic Party, which is, because we don't have a two-party system, we have more parties, but... And then the Green Party is green, duh. But, yes. It's flipped in Canadian politics, the two colors. Yes, good old Yeehaw Land, Texas. But, yeah. Huh? Don't do what? Oh, you looked pretty bummed when you left the reception, and then I found you staring at the ocean like you just snorted 6 lines of powdered midlife crisis off the bathroom counter. Powdered midlife crisis. Jeez. So I guess the joke was like, ha, don't literally commit suicide at my wedding, dude, lol. Not to commit suicide at my fucking wedding is pretty obvious, but in retrospect, I guess it's not that funny. But seriously, John, don't kill yourself. I wasn't going to kill myself. I'd miss you, and also it'd bum out Jade pretty bad, and I have so thoroughly hitched my start to that YIF train in case you haven't noticed. YIF train? Yeah, man, you see, I don't want to know. Anyway, I was just, multiple parties are a voting system that supported them. I mean, like, our system needs a lot of reform too, because it's the way that people vote. It's basically a 2-party system. Like, most places either end up liberal or conservative. NDP is kind of like, oh, haha, maybe in your wildest dreams they will win. Sometimes they do. Like, they are actually the opposition party in our provincial government right now. And it's usually either liberal or conservative, done. But the NDP actually, they came pretty close to getting, like, a minority government, or, like, because, like, they are the opposition party right now, which is, I don't know if that's ever happened before in Ontario. But yeah, basically the Conservative Party is like the Republicans. The Liberal Party is like the Democrats. The NDP is the New Democratic Party. They're a democratic socialist, I believe. And the Green Party is like, they're like, well, their whole thing with being the Green Party is that their focus is on environmental causes, but they're also, their fiscal policies tend to lean conservative, which doesn't make any sense because those two things kind of oppose each other. But yeah. But yeah, ranked choice would be an interesting one to have. We have, right now our system is first past the post, which is just popular vote. Which fucking Trudeau said that one of his biggest fucking campaign platform things was that if he were to be elected, then he would enact electoral reform to put a better system in place than first past the post, so our government could be more representative of what, like, people actually vote, like, want to vote for. But then he was just like, haha, no. So I'm like, you fucking fuck. God damn it. Anyway. Objectively the worst. Yeah, it's not a very good system at all. It is the reason why we can have things like the present conservative majority in our provincial parliament, where they're pushing through bullshit after bullshit this thing through legislature to fucking fuck. Anyway, John and Dave, not really having much of a happier conversation over here, but let's hop into this chapter because we're almost finished. Encourages 2-party systems. It does, yeah. Like, I want to vote NDP, but I know that in my writing, if I don't vote Liberal, then it's basically a vote for the Conservatives. So, guess I gotta vote strategically if I don't want my rights taken away. Ayo. John decides it's probably better not to mention what he was actually doing, and definitely not to mention who just rappelled off the balcony with alarming stealth and grace. Appreciating how pretty the view is. Yeah, I love the sight of the military-industrial complex destroying the landscape in the evening. Come on, that's obviously not what I meant. Dave comes to join John at the banister, gazing out over the water with a look at least as existential as John's. John isn't sure what to say about that, so he wiggles his empty glass, looking for another shot of sparkling social lubricant. Dave tops him off before taking a long swig off the bottle himself. You don't want that because they're weird legal platforms that don't make sense. Politics sucks. Politics sucks like a lot. Politics is, yeah. Sucks a lot, and we're just hopping right into a whole other parallel political situation happening in here. I mean, like, okay, we're not quite where they are yet, as I stare off into the distance with dead eyes. Anyway. You okay, dude? Having been married once before, I gotta say, it's all kind of overwhelming, huh? Oh, yeah, I guess. I don't know, Jade and I have been together so long, this all just feels like... Dave shrugs. Whatever. I was sort of hoping that... considering that we're working together in the rebellion and everything, I was hoping that Karkat would show. Oh... John looks down and twirls the stem of his glass between his two fingers. If I overthrow the government, suddenly I'm the bad guy. Oh, funny how that works. Oh my goodness. So you're still not, over that? The whole Karkat thing? I mean, will I ever be over it? Oh, excuse me. I was trying really hard not to yawn, but, like, it just happened. Y'all, I am, like, immediately yeeting myself into my fucking bed as soon as I turn a stream off. Okay, no. I'm setting yesterday's stream to upload on YouTube, and then I am yeeting myself into bed. The way I felt about him probably isn't the kind of shit you just get over. You just sort of live with it. But no matter how it turns out. But he's with Mina, and I'm with Jade, and the whole world's gone fucking batshit, so what's the point in looking backwards now? Right? John swallows a lump down his throat. Terzie's picture is still in his wallet. Faded, dog-eared, marred by ragged white lines down the center from being folded and unfolded so many times, deep enough to be called valleys at this point. Right. They fall silent for a moment, soaking up the atmosphere, sipping their booze, and contemplating the suckiness of being an adult. Dave lets out a soft laugh and slaps John in the back. John swallows his champagne wrong and starts coughing. Yo, dude, thanks for being my best man. Oh, thanks, man. No problem. 'Cause you are, you know. You're my best bro, my main man, my most devoted dude. Cheers, John. Cheers, Dave. They toast, lip of the glass to rim of the bottle. The sound rings out above the noise of the party inside. It rises up above the ocean to where the stars are turning and dawn is already breaking on some other part of the planet. That's how the years pass, faster and faster the longer it goes. For those living on this iteration of Earthsea, like John and Dave, it appears to be an illusion of age, an old adage about perception changing the older you get. The days get shorter the more the regrets pile up. But that's only part of it. Above this earth, the dead shrub is still meditating, waiting for the day when she can have her own heroic apotheosis, waiting for the day where she can confront the one she calls the prince. And on this earth, John is just waiting for the day that feeling finally stops. That feeling that he's still waiting for something, and that even worse feeling than that years ago he missed his only chance to put an end to it. If you stand on a very high hill at dawn, you can watch your shadow move in an arc around you. 10 years to the day he last spoke with Terzi, John finally gets rid of her photograph. He stands at the top of a very high hill, rips it into 6 pieces, and lets the wind carry it away. Whatever else happens now, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I know this is a short. That being said, it's very rude, all things considered, for a car cat to start a war on Harry Anderson's birthday. That is true. So I know this is a short one, but we're literally almost exactly 45 minutes over time. So I'm going to cut here for today. Homestuck should be used as a political activism organization tool. I mean, I'm sure there are definitely some things about organizing people that can be gleaned from its wise words. Homestuck logo is a symbol of rebellion. Yeah. Oh my goodness. 28. How fitting. Vriska is reintroduced on a chapter that ends in 8. If we scroll down, we can see this. But I'm not going to read the full chapter because I'm going the fuck to bed. Yes, the stream from yesterday should be up on YouTube sometime tomorrow. I'm going to set that to upload while I am sleeping. Yes, good night. Good night, good night. I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever you may be getting up to. I am going to sleep. I need sleep. Yeah. So, future streams, next weekend, back at it Friday, Saturday. Actually, let me double check what the fuck is next weekend. I don't know why I feel like it's later in the month than it is, but it is only August 10th today. Well, technically August 11th since we're past midnight. But next weekend, Friday, Saturday for Homestuck streams, back at it again. But in the meantime, Tuesday, August 13th, the return of Dream Daddy. I believe we were picking another person to go on a first date with. So, we have already done Matt and Robert. Everyone else is fair game. Form your opinions if you would like a say in who we go on the date with. Yeah. And let me post if there's anyone who's interested. Let me see. Copy. Okay. So here is Discord. Boom. Link good for 24 hours. That is the Discord for my stuff. If you want to hang out around those parts, it's pretty chill. It's usually a little on the quiet side, but it's all good. Yeah. Okay. Good night, everyone. I hope that you had as much fun, as much a good time chatting and reading along as I did. Fingers crossed that I will be seeing you all here next weekend to continue reading, or dare I say, even on Tuesday night for Dream Daddy streams. My goodness, lots of stuff going on. I'm gonna go to sleep. I feel like you can probably tell that I'm tired. Yeah, my brain is short-circuiting. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else I wanted to slip in here, but, like, I got the stream schedule in there, and, like, that's the most important part. Yeah, continuing next weekend, same time, same place, and Dream Daddy on Tuesday. Alright. Phoenix, Sneak Cat, Aleph, thank y'all for joining me this evening. Thank y'all, anyone watching anonymously. You have a good night as well, Phoenix. And, yeah, thanks for hanging out. Hope I'll see you again soon. And Homestuck Volume 6 will play us out.